Hey, welcome back to Hormones 101. I'm Vanda, functional medicine nurse and mom of four. And in this episode, I'm getting a little more personal. I'm sharing what was my very first HTMA test. I'm going to share with you what it taught me about my own body because, like many of you, I was doing all the right things, but I still did not feel the way that I wanted to. So, when I ran my first HTMA test, I was about 3 months postpartum with my second baby. So, this was back in the very beginning of 2022. I was exhausted. I was snappy and easily agitated. I wasn't losing weight the way that I had hoped to, even when I was making an effort to eat well and move my body. And honestly, I just did not feel like myself. I wanted to show up as the mom and wife that I knew that I could be for our family, but everything felt harder than it needed to be. And when parenting got stressful, I didn't have the patience or the capacity to handle it with grace. So I ran the test mostly out of curiosity, but with deep hope that maybe I could finally get to the root of the issue and fix this. And honestly, my results were so eye opening. So here's a quick breakdown of just some of the things that I found. I can't go into all of it in one podcast episode, but here's a few of the most important things. Number one, my potassium was low. And I don't just mean low, it was like nearly non existent. That explained my energy crashes, my mood swings, and why stress felt so overwhelming. Like I literally just couldn't handle it. My magnesium was also um, low, which can affect your emotional regulation, sleep, and hormone balance. And I also had low copper with elevated zinc, which that can show up as fatigue, hormone disruption, and inflammation. Seeing those things on paper, along with all the other things we uncovered in that test, gave me so much clarity and peace because I suddenly had something tangible that helped everything make sense. It wasn't just me. I wasn't making it up in my head. It wasn't just like, well, this is what it's like to be a mom with three kids. And it also let me know that it wasn't something that I just had to like push through and accept and kind of get over. It told me that the symptoms that I was experiencing and the trouble that I was having was my body's way of trying to get my attention. And thank goodness there was something I could do about it. Having the data and the results right there on paper in black and white allowed me to know exactly what steps to take next. Now, I didn't go in and like overhaul everything. I made a few key shifts that actually ended up making a huge difference rather quickly, honestly. So, the first thing, I focused more on balancing my blood sugar throughout the day. I got really intentional with that. I added in a high potassium, mineral rich drink. And then tried to also be more intentional and conscious of how many high potassium rich foods I was consuming in my diet. I started taking magnesium glycinate at night before bed every single night, which helped me with both sleep and stress. And I added in beef liver as a whole food multivitamin alternative, mainly to help replenish that copper and then therefore support my energy naturally. Now, like I said, these changes were not massive, but they were very targeted to exactly what my testing and my data was telling me that my body needed. And that's what made them work. So, if you are listening through that and even through this whole series and you're like, she could literally be talking about me specifically, then this is your invitation to stop guessing and start uncovering what it is that your body is asking for. Find out what it is that your data could tell us. I would love to support you the way that I have supported so many other moms and women throughout this journey. You can head over to the show notes, apply to work with me. And I will get back with you. I will guide you as to what your next step should be, whether it's your energy cycle mood that you're concerned with, or you're worried because you just don't feel like yourself anymore and it's not how you want to continue to feel. Then this is how we find you real answers. And I will help you figure out what is the best fit for you and the best approach for you to take based on where you're at right now, what your capacity is, what you have the capacity for in your lifestyle. And that is like my favorite. I'm such a problem solver at heart. That is like my favorite part of what I do is helping my clients integrate what I teach and my strategies into their life. So next up in episode number 6, we are going to dive into what's really going on when you feel like you're not able to keep up with life, whether that is your job, your family, your health, or your emotions. This episode is going to remind you that it's not a character flaw, it's a chemistry problem.